Some cars are incredibly emotional but super expensive. And other cars, well, they might be very achievable but a little bit boring. And today's story is about a car that tries to combine both of both worlds, so still achievable but already very emotional and sporty. And that is the Skoda Octavia RS, or vRS as our friends in the UK call it. And this one here is a special version, the new tops version, the vRS 230. We're going to examine it in exterior, interior and the driving experience, and of course explain you all of the different details also to the normal vRS version. And that's all today in Autogefühl, your #1 resource for in-depth car reviews and your #1 community to discuss cars with Thomas. Let's go. Full HD, full screen and full length of Autogefühl starts right here at the front, and this 230 version has the black package from standard equipment. That means we get, for example, the black front grille. Usually there's also a black bumper then. This one doesn't have it, but I think it's quite good choice because it seems more harmonic when also lower part is in a normal vehicle color. I also love the headlights. You see both of the side that they have this 3D effect. You can, really examine them and look here and there. So much details into the headlights you can really discover. Only thing is that we've seen it also some with a lot of Audi models, those plastic comp grills here at the lower part. If you look at them in detail, they look quite cheap. But overall, I think a very attractive car from the front. And you also got the vRS logo right here. I'm not sure why in Germany we just say RS. It's also just the official name. But just explained, vRS in UK, RS in Germany. We have to live with it, I guess. You can see that we have the sedan version today, which is my favorite. It's so beautiful. Well, of course, the estate is more practical, more versatile. If you're also interested in the estate version, we also got other reviews of that one here, not the 230 but the 220 so far. So later on, if we have finished this video, then you can also check out more videos about that car. They will also be linked in the video description. Let's continue here now with the side profile, and as we have this black package, we also have black rims. In this case 18-inch because they're with winter tires. Usually with summer tires would be then 19-inch as well. Black mirror caps, and then we have got a classic sedan style. Also don't have any chrome around here because it also remains in black. It's just some rubber here, by the way. Maybe that would be better if we got a rather glossy surface. If we continue to the rear, which is of the car that I find very beautiful. Then again, my least favorite part, because I more prefer the taillights of the Superb, which are more horizontal and not kind of square one like here on the Octavia. The RS versions have all the rear wing as the sedan, as it is here right now. And the 230, usually it would be with a black pack, also in black, like I've mentioned with the front. But this one here is one of the very early vRS 230, and therefore they obviously forgot to give it in black. However, I think it's very interesting because here in the vehicle color, I think to me it's more beautiful. And so you might just, when you order it, ask your dealer, can I maybe, if you want to get the RS 230, still get it in vehicle color? Officially, it's not available, but maybe your dealer can do something about it. let's get inside. Solid door handles, also the door closing sound. Very solid, as we know from Skoda. At the inside of the doors, we've got a glossy black panel. So we not only have just plain plastic. Then if we move on to the interior, what can we see? First of all, those are special sport seats, vRS sport seats. Unfortunately, in the RS230, they are only available with genuine leather. That would be a reason for me not to go for it, because in the normal RS version 220, you can also get cloth seats then. But the seat form is very good and also very comfortable. Then at the lower part, you see those entry panels, vRS. A little bit of 90s style, the whole car, don't you think so as well? But that's why I like the car, because I'm kinda 90s style. Then the steering wheel, what is nice is that it's got a flattened end and also contrast stitches on the inside, and you can see it has the right size, so also promises a sporty feeling. Let me get inside. And those sport seats, they offer you a lot of space, so for tall people that's very good. Too bad they don't offer any other service here. Electronic control also works quite fast. And also what is interesting, with all of the Volkswagen AG models, like this one here, when you activate the electric motors, the small ones, the sound of them is just, not that very loud. In some other cars, sometimes it's so loud when you control them. Lumbar support is right here, and also memory function up there. And overall, from the seating comfort, those ones are not the sport seat where you totally feel caged in. So also if you're a little bit taller, a little bit wider, that one is perfectly suitable for your body then. And they do offer you side support right here and also at the shoulders. But again, they leave you room to breathe. I think that they have really find a good compromise there, because usually I tend to say go for the least sporty seats that are possible, because they offer you more space and don't feel like this. But here they found a very good compromise for the seat form. And by the way, talking about leather alternatives, one of you Autogefühl viewers is the company owner of Made and producing products called Origami, and those ones are those purses, and they are made out of cork. Transparency hint, I was not paid to show those, he just sent them to me, and I wanted to show it just as an example that you can, for example, use cork to have a surface. It feels like leather. It's a very soft feeling, and it's, for example, here in black or also in the natural cork, and this one really feels and looks high class. It looks and feels exclusive, but it's not from genuine leather. So a lot of alternatives, not this leatherette or faux leather, also with cork. It's possible. And if someone says, oh, the poor trees, first of all, let's really differentiate between animals and trees. And secondly, this one here, it comes from Portugal, and they have a sustainable cork production there. So our friend here is also watching Autogefühl. He checked out that this one really works. So very interesting, and you see there are a lot of alternatives to genuine leather. You just have to discover them. Cockpit overview, what do we see? Skoda tends to build, let's say, quite simple but elegant and clean interiors. That means it's not that joyful, but you have a very good overview, what we can see here. More all in horizontal lines, and I basically really like that, if it's kept quite simple and functional. And everything kind of has its fixed place. The controls are also very simple, have a good overview. And so you don't have to learn anything. You just sit down and know where everything is placed. The steering wheel, look at it also with the perforated structure. It's totally Audi. It's a real Audi steering wheel to me, or what do you think? And has a good size, and I'll show you in driving. This one is a very, very good sporty steering wheel. Although, well, what would be optional even better if we had the Alcantara surface on that one. Classic analog instruments, right and left. And when I start the ignition, you see this nice effect that the needles go all the way to and the back again. only 3 degrees outside. Then digital instrument in the front, you see you can drive that one with 8 liters and 100 kilometers. If you really push the throttle, it can also be 11. The infotainment unit, we don't have the maximum solution here. This one is the smaller screen. However, all the basic functions are there, like radio, and you have the hotkeys on the left side. For example, also connecting USB or your Bluetooth phone, then you can connect it here. And what we do not have in here is the GPS. You see it has no GPS button. However, you can also browse the car like this. I would expect in this top version that we have the GPS already included. And see, the marking is also not working in here, that car. This one again is consumption figure. It's a good system, definitely, but I would really expect the GPS also already included. But in most cars, even in the top luxury ones, you have to get it optional for like 2,000 euros, and that's the same here. Volume control is here, by the way. The AC unit is placed below there, and pretty simple, pretty solid here. Also with the screen, seat heating, 3 levels, and how strong the vents are. Pretty basic, but just a good job. And at the bottom, we can close the car, for example. This is here the vRS mode button. It's not that it's just a button for the vRS mode. You scroll through the different modes. I can show you that in the screen above quite soon. And USB and aux slot. This one here is the manual gearbox, 6-speed, and you feel hardly any resistance here, and the shifting ways are not that long. So overall a good solution, because nowadays I think it doesn't need any extra resistance just so that it feels sporty. But overall I think it conveys a very good shifting feel. We'll of course confirm or deny that later on when we drive the car. The DSG dual clutch transmission would also be available for that car. Manual handbrake still, I do prefer that you have something manual still. Then beverages holder, where you can, for example, also put in that device for your smartphone, just as a holder. And then solid quality, again, you see here, if I try to move that one, it's really very well fixed. Just some more space below there. And right here, standard glove box, slides down quite smoothly, and very reasonable space. And it also can be cooled. In the black ceiling, you get something for your glasses then. And at the inside of the doors, you can not only put some bottles in here, but also some trash. And this is one of those very clever Skoda ideas, as they also claim that you have those small devices here, for example, like a small trash bin. One more storage space. You can slide that one open, and then there's a spot for your smartphone where it gets connected to the car antenna. You have to slide that one manual back again, however. And last but not least, next to the steering wheel, yet again another space. It's, well, even not too tiny. Let's now test the rear compartment. And this car is between its official compact segment, because it's still on the Golf platform, but it's between the compact segment and the mid-size segment. And well, you see it, we get a lot of knee space here, and that is so special about the Octavia. Even if tall drivers are in the front, you get a lot of space still in the rear. And although it's a sedan, we don't have a panoramic roof, still got a lot of space above my head. And so overall, this car here is one of the cars where don't pay too much money, but already get a lot of space, especially in the lower versions. Of course, the RS230 version is the most expensive one, but still you get a sports car and can very well use it with 2 tall adults, maybe even 3 here in the back. Optionally, you can get a real plug for the rear compartment, 230 volt. That's what we would need in Germany. Let's check the trunk. And again, well, it's a sedan, but you see, like in the Superb, although it's a sedan, you get a wide opening here. It's not this classic saloon style, so as flexible as an estate. Some bag holders here, 12 volt power supply, and just so much space. And then you can easily flip the seats from here. Well, it's also possible to flip it just from here, so you are really flexible in the ways. And for example, you can also just open a ski hatch here. So that one would be also possible. Hey guys. And let me show you when we flip both sides here and over there. And there you get really good solution. We got here a rubber floor mat that protects it and you can easily be cleaned. For example, also for if a dog or something, and you see just how much space we have here, and it's still a sedan, so very versatile to use. Start our test ride. Manual gearbox, 230 horsepower, as the car says, 2-liter turbo engine. We start in the normal driving mode. Very easy to shift the car, hardly any resistance. Also here when we were driving in the parking lot, the steering is very light, so very easy to control the car overall. And we have a bumpy road here, we'll have plain roads, so we can test different surfaces of how the suspension is reacting. Because quite often with very sporty cars, you get a nice emotional sporty approach, but then it gets so rough, and I really don't like it because, what's the use for that besides the racetrack? So, third gear. A little bit of rough is the road here already. Now it gets plain again. The sound is, well, you do hear a little sporty sound, but not too exaggerated. The overview is really great. You don't feel exactly like in a true sports car. You feel like a normal sedan or estate. And it gives you a cozy feeling. And as I already said about the sports seat, they are also very comfortable. Now it gets really rough on the road. We do feel a difference to the normal Octavia, so this one is less comfortable then, but still suspension is doing a quite good job for being, that responsive to the road. So I think here again they also found a good compromise. This here, the 230 version, does not sit lower than 220, about 50 millimeters lower with sport suspension in comparison to the normal Skoda Octavia models. So overall, I can always say this car is gently to drive, but with the sport suspension gives you better contact to the road here now, especially when we drive a little faster here now. And the good thing is you drive a sedan, which is comfortable, suitable for everyday driving, offers so much space, but already you can have a quite emotional ride. You got the progressive steering in here, and that means I don't need any very long steering angles. You will see it right now when we go to a sharper corner. Look at that one here right now. It's 90 degrees. I don't have to turn the steering wheel that much, and that's really very nice. Let's see, we accelerate a little harder. What's happening? Like for example here now, I would say we'll go like with 3000 RPMs. Not too much RPM because again that's just wheel spin. That's already 100. That I think is very good performance. So 0 to 100 kilometers or 0 to 60 miles an hour is below 7 seconds. Nice result. I mean, you don't need any more. And also on the Autobahn, this vehicle here supports you very well also when overtaking. You heard a little bit of the sound now already. We can also go into the other driving mode. It was normal driving mode. I also got an eco driving mode. That means that we can let the car roll a little bit better, but that one more applies to the DSG versions, because here you can just go into neutral gear, then let the car roll to save some fuel if you're going straight. But here, now let's go to the sport mode. Then the sound actuator is, you hear it, activating even more, because part of the sound is artificially done for the interior. but they've done it quite well, I think, when I push the throttle. The sound is nice, really nice, and you wouldn't expect it for a 2-liter turbo engine. And well, it also is not the real sound of the 2-liter turbo engine, as I said. A little bit comes artificially, but I mean, why not? Not everyone needs who wants to drive a V6 or V8. I mean, why not in this case? No, we had a Lexus RCF recently with a 5-liter V8. There I was thinking about, okay, why do you add some artificial sound there? I don't know, but here, I mean, why not? So you can have an accessible car, with not too high price, but always with a nice sound in the interior. And also, you're not annoying too much people around you because the sound is rather kept for you then. And very easy to control the car all the time, so you can remain really relaxed. It's also a good car for very long trips, definitely. But as I said, as soon as it's possible, you know, to drive a little bit fast and also have some nice cornerings, it's also a lot of fun to drive it, no question. Here again, let me really roll over those bumps. And this, I mean, for a sport suspension, still a good job. However, if you really want it more comfortable, then you cannot go for the RS version. So about that more horsepower we have here, that we don't feel. But when I'm, for example, the road is still a little bit slippery, when I really push the throttle through, I don't have this classic wheel spin, even on wet roads, which I would have with the non-230 version, because here we have the front wheel differential lock. It's electric and hydraulic mix. And that one then helps me, especially when accelerating out of the corners, to reduce wheel spin. Here now as well. Usually it can happen with the Skoda Octavia RS because 220 horsepower are already quite much for the front wheels. Then you lose some feeling in the steering wheel when accelerating. Here that does not happen, and so this front wheel differential lock, that one is really doing a good job, especially if you're really pushing the throttle and when the road is wet. So, well, it pays off to go for that one. But is it really like that crucial that you should only go for the RS 230 and not for the 220? I don't think so. So this one is here really when you say, I want the Skoda Octavia, no matter what price. And the 220 would be rather than, if you know, a more clever choice, definitely. However, both are really fun to ride, and we can enjoy that here right now. The contact to the road is very well. Also, again, a good overview to all of the sides. Shifting is a lot of fun. Although I would basically prefer DSG, but I mean, you surely have the choice. And DSG is, of course, always optional in the price, that dual clutch transmission. So I've mentioned it a couple of times, and it also counts for the driving, that the Skoda Octavia is one of like the best overall choice, because this car combines so much, you know, with offering space and being sporty at the same time. So you can use this car for kind of every purpose, and that's also the reason because that our cameraman owns this car for private purposes, not this one, but the 220. And well, it's just very convincing, and I'm having a lot of fun driving the car again in this curvy roads. And I don't miss having a true sports car. Well, I went here with a true sports car and then switched cars. But it's really the case. You feel kind of relieved, you know, when you're in this very, very true sports car. It's a lot of fun to drive. But sometimes you think, oh, my back starts to hurt a little bit and I feel a little bit caged in. Here you have both. You can drive sporty and can just unveil yourself still at the same time. Just listen to the nice sound. Like that, I haven't exaggerated it. used to the road, even though we have winter tires here now. No, now we have a bus in front of us. I think we'll wait just a couple of seconds, or maybe a minute. The old lady says we should go by. Do you like having a bus in front of you? I don't think so. Especially not with such a car here. So, 230 or 220, I think it doesn't matter really that much. But the front differential lock, that one is already quite good. But again, I can stress that you can have a lot of fun with the car. Not only with one, not with two, 3 or 4 people. And yeah, probably also even with 5 people here with the Octavia RS. So let's go for the performance ride once more. Slowly see if no one gets out of this bus. 6,000 RPMs but you can really turn it up that much, no problem. Of course, consumption is going down. Oh, brakes are really hammering. The car is really precise, really precise. I have totally the feeling that I have, can control every inch of where the car is going. If you're really into sporty steering, however, you might argue that the steering is maybe even a little bit too light for you. I have no problem with it, just from my personal opinion. But some might say, I want a little bit more resistance with it. And I wonder why they haven't included that in the driving modes, because sometimes also resistance of the steering wheel is changing. I didn't feel it right now here. But, that's also just a very small detail. So I think we'll have some more nice corners here to ride. Had a good overview that the car is also suitable for every kind of riding situation. And one of the best compromises as a car we have on the market. And now to the conclusion of the Skoda Octavia vRS 230, the new top sports version. Well, it's not too much of a difference to the normal Skoda Octavia RS. Those 10 horsepower more, you don't really feel it. Yes, the front differential lock, that one you do feel, especially when it's wet. Then you have less wheel spin and you can accelerate better out of the corners. It is still a car, with a good price-performance ratio, very emotional, very good looking, but not too high in the price. But the 230 version is, of course, not that good in the price performance than the other normal Octavia or the RS then. So you have to think about that one. Also, what is missing here, that you only can get the full genuine leather seats here, and therefore I would always go for the normal RS version. Besides that, exterior, also the interior, how everything is, from the solid quality, that is well done then. I would expect in such a top version that the GPS is always included for that price then, definitely. But the driving experience here is, and that's the main topic about this car, sporty and comfortable at the same time. So thank you very much for watching this review with Thomas here, and I would say if it should get any faster than this one already goes, I got one hint for you. I should probably add this one here, and I think then you'll get through everywhere.